God is good, and with each day that passes brings us a day closer to the launch of Pantheon: Rise of the Fallen. In the meantime, we don't have anything to do, so we gotta keep ourselves busy. There's many things you can do to have fun while we wait for Pantheon. Me personally, there's a game coming out, an RPG. It's not an MMO, it's just an RPG, but it looks really interesting. And to be honest, sometimes I'll be playing an RPG or an open world game or whatever, and I'll just kind of pretend that it's Pantheon because I want to play the game so bad. I'll just be like, oh, some things about this game remind me about Pantheon and the way I envision it to end up being like. Well, Outward, although it's not out yet, a lot of people have gotten to try the game out. I'm not one of them, but a lot of people have, and I've been reading up on it, and I'm really excited about this game. It's called Outward. It's an open world RPG. Don't hit X yet. I know we're kind of all getting a little tired of that phrasing. However, it is a very difficult game, and it's doing a lot of things that I really like, and that some of the things that I feel like the magic has been taken away from games due to making things convenient. Hand-holding, showing you exactly what direction to go for the next quest, that kind of thing. I don't like that. I mean, you know, I don't want to be looking at a compass, right? I want to be looking at the world, as Joppa says we'll be doing in Pantheon. So, Outward is one of those kind of games. Basically, it's a game where you don't know where you're at, okay? You have to find your own way. There's not going to be the quests, you're going to figure them out. Like, you'll be given hints, or maybe, go northwest, and you'll go across a bridge, and then you'll come across a town, and inside the town, there's a guy there. Find him, not just giving you hints and letting you make an adventure out of it. And the game is going to be very challenging. People, and I know we're all sick of hearing this, but, bear with me, people are comparing the difficulty to something like Dark Souls, but in an open world, really deep RPG type environment. So let's talk a little bit about what you'll be doing. You have to eat, you have to sleep, you'll be hunting for your food. You'll be resting and healing, and of course you'll be fighting, and all kinds of other things in between. So the environments that you'll be doing this in are hills, dunes, swamps, dungeons, and all this kind of thing. Now, the really cool thing about this game, though, that I gotta mention, because I'm introducing it as a single-player RPG because that's what it is. However, it is offering something kind of cool, and that is that you can do co-op, which I think is very cool. So you can go out in this dangerous world with friends. Now, from what I've gathered on the game, the multiplayer is going to be online. You can venture forth and cooperate online, or you can do split screen locally, which I think is a really cool touch. The graphics look really good, as you can see. Some people don't agree with my particular taste in graphics, if you follow my channel very closely. However, I think this looks very beautiful, especially for the kind of game it is. And to be honest with you, as long as a game kind of has that Dungeons and Dragons kind of feel, I'm all about it. But I think it looks really good. I think the graphics are top notch, and I just really want a cool game that's going to challenge me, that I can really dive into and really get some enjoyment out of. And I love it when there's a new IP, something that I kind of don't know anything about, that I'm walking into blind, kind of like Terminus will be, because this is a new IP, so we're not going into something familiar or something we already know, the basic outlier, or we've been here before, we're just revisiting it kind of feeling. So I really enjoyed that. And once again, I know we've heard it all before, but we had people actually try this game out and who are actually agreeing that the world is meaningful. In other words, it's not just challenging and the progress and that type of thing, but it's actually got a constantly changing world based on different actions you take, and kind of evolving the world around you based on those decisions, which I always enjoy when games do that. It gives it a lot of replayability. It also makes the game more interesting, and when things happen, it makes you say, I wonder if this happened because I did X or Y, and I really enjoy that. Or it's going to be a game where you can take it on as a melee type fighter, a magic user, a rogue type, all the kind of things you would expect. Now this is a game, because I can do co-op, that I would really have a good time playing this game with my wife Winter, because we can get on and we can play together. I would rather us have our own screen. I'm a little bit of a screen hog. I don't like to share my screen. However, you know, she could play on her computer, I could play on mine, and I'm really excited about this game, guys. Let's talk a little bit more about what the game offers. So another thing that I really like about it is the death. So when you die, a couple things could happen. Number one, some random creature, as an example given from someone who played the game, he died in one instance, and a random creature actually dragged his body into a cave, and he, you know, came back to life, you know, without his stuff, I'm assuming, and he had to get back to his body and kind of escape this weird situation where some beast had you know, basically kidnapped his corpse and dragged it off. So it does have a meaningful, you know, death is one of those things. It could also be a situation where somebody in a nearby town finds you and brings you back to their house or something like that. But it's an interesting way to do death, I thought. And another reason that I really like this game, and I should have probably mentioned this first, is you are not a chosen one type character. You're not some special, incredible, secret powers, you know, here to save the world kind of thing. You're just a person, just a regular person. You know, you gotta get good with whatever you want to do. You don't start out with some advantage in the world. You're just, you know, you got nothing. You just, you know, you pick up a sword and learn to use it, buddy. Like, you're just a regular person in a really tough and dangerous world, and you have to survive. Now, this does not seem to be a survival game, but there is things like you do need to eat, and, you know, you got to watch out for, you know, body temperature, and of course, you know, staying alive. Another thing interesting is how the magic works. So apparently you can't just, you know, cast a spell, you know, just put on a hotbar and bam, cast a spell. Magic is more complicated in this world, so you're gonna have to prepare yourself. You might need certain items. You might have to even draw out a rune on the ground to prepare that particular site for the magic spell that you want to do. So it's not just you just, boom, I'm casting a fireball spell because that's what I got. You have to actually prepare yourself, and it's not quite as simple as most RPGs make it out to be, and I thought that was really cool. Another cool thing is the way that they're doing item management. I'm actually a fan of having to organize, I guess you could say, my inventory. I'm not a very organized person in real life, but for some weird reason in a digital world, I really enjoy being organized because I'm just screwed up in the head, I guess. But you do have to organize it, so a belt that you might wear would carry only 10 or so items, and that's it. So if you want to carry more, and I'm pretty sure you will, you're gonna have to invest in a backpack. Whether that be you craft it yourself or you go buy one, you're gonna need a backpack, and then that will carry a certain amount of items, and that's how you upgrade. You have to get new things or new ways to carry more items, and I like that. And keep in mind, when you hear that, the Outward isn't really designed for you to just start the game and then just run off into the wilderness on some crazy adventure. So you're gonna have to take it slow. So at first, with no map and no quest markers, me personally, I'll be hanging out in the beginning area for, who knows, a long time, getting comfortable with my surroundings and slowly working my way out into the world as I feel comfortable and as I get my bearings and kind of begin to build a map inside my head. So, you know, having to return back to sell my stuff or what have you doesn't really bother me in a game, if it's a game where it's not designed to just start running from point A to point B to point C to point D until the game is beaten. Now, in those kind of games, I get a little aggravated with the inventory management because it's just built to run through it quickly, so I get aggravated. But in a game like this, where it's paced more slowly, and it's meant for you to play the game like that, I really don't mind that, you know, I'll be limited in my inventory. It just gives me something else to work towards to try to increase my inventory so that I can spend more time out in the field or down in a dungeon gathering cool stuff, and I like that. And we were talking about the co-op earlier, and it's not just, you know, apparently they're implementing things in the game that actually will make it very interesting when you have another person, you know, playing with you. whether that be split screen or online. And the examples I read about were like carrying your bags, holding the torch for you when you're in a dark cave, or, you know, baiting a monster, or, you know, what have you. So more than just you got somebody, some tag along with you, but actually with a little bit of like utility, I guess you could say, with bringing someone with you. Guys, I just want to talk about this game a little bit because when this game comes out, it's supposed to come out in March, is the current release date at this time. People who have played it, that I read about at least, were very excited when they got hands-on with the game. They thought it was very awesome. I think the world looks really cool. I think the basic idea reminds me of that risk versus reward kind of thing that we're all looking forward to with Pantheon Rise of the Fallen. And I just want to throw this out there because I want to make sure that you guys who are interested in that kind of gameplay realize that you have a game like this coming very soon, you know, next month, and it could quench your thirst. You know, we're in the dry spell right now. We've got a newsletter coming up next week, by the way, so there'll be a lot of new Pantheon videos, I'm sure, once we get some good, juicy information on what's going on. But in the meantime, I mean, we have a long wait, even to get into pre-alpha, in my opinion. You know, I think the earliest that pre-alpha will open up, I believe, will be at best maybe late March. So we got a little bit of time here, and we've got this game coming out next month, so I wanted you to know about it. What do you guys think about it? Does it look cool? Does it look like something that could, you know, bide your time a little bit and quench your thirst temporarily while you're waiting on the greatest MMORPG of all time? What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope actually that you hadn't heard of this game. I hope I was the one to kind of point you in the direction. You can check it out. It's already up on Steam to pre-order. I think anyway, I could be lying about that, but it's definitely out there. A little bit of information out on the web for you to search through and check out. But guys, I will be covering this game, I'm sure, in the future. I'm planning on getting it at launch and really having some adventures with Winter and sharing it with you guys. So I hope you can look forward to that while we wait on Pantheon. And guys, thanks for joining me once again. I really appreciate it. And share this with people if you think they would also be interested in a cool RPG like this. And keep in mind, guys, something like this is something really awesome to introduce somebody to this kind of gameplay, to kind of get them on board of Pantheon. So maybe they don't care about Pantheon because they don't realize how much fun a game like risk versus reward and open world exploration and difficult and punishments to death, etc. Maybe they don't realize that might sound negative to some people, but if you can be like, hey, check out this game, which is not related at all, but it has enough of the core values that Pantheon has that if you enjoy this, now imagine it in an MMO RPG environment, and I think that could bring some people on board to the Pantheon train. Guys, thanks very much. I'm not going to hold you up any much longer. I just want to kind of introduce this awesome looking RPG to you. And thank you very much. God bless and happy gaming.
I've been making videos all day. My friends all say I'm gay. It's a video buffet. You can even hit replay. But please just subscribe. I can't even describe being part of my tribe. I'll even offer you a prize, but just please just subscribe and hit the bell notification too.